What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Not a Treasure Cruise video. Why do I do that, man? It's Dokkan, obviously. Treasure Cruise is yesterday. Today is all about Dokkan battle, bro. Anyways, today we are going to go ahead and take on one of the most recent Red Zone events. This is the Vegeta version of the final stage, stage 10, I believe it is, against Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku. And one of the missions that we're doing is against the time limit category. You have to beat it with a full team of time limit characters. And one of the good thing about time limit is it's one of these categories that just has like so many good characters on it. And despite the fact that we're not like using a time limit category leader, just the fact that you can have all of these super overpowered characters, Gotenks, Vegito, Gogeta, the 7th anniversary Extreme Z Awakens with Super Saiyan 4s and the gods. Like, it's so good, man. Having like one of these categories that just has all these top tier units, and all these top tier units just sharing categories makes some of these category missions just so much easier. A little bit, offset from this is the most recent version of the what the hell is that event? I don't know the event names as well as other people. I'm gonna pull it up real quick because I've got the information on the side. What's it called again? The Battle Hardened Formidable Foes. Yeah, the 2 stages of that had just dropped actually, and I have completed the missions with the full team of Fused Fighters and the full team of Full Power. That took me a while to get done, and if you guys want to see me go ahead and do that, I can go ahead and re-record them, or like actually record. I didn't record them on my initial clears, because the thing about it is that it took so many times for me to clear it that like I would just hate to start recording and then I fail and then I gotta re-record it. It's just a pain. But hey, if you guys want to see it and like show you guys how it's done, then I can definitely do that for you. But I know there's plenty of other creators out there that have done it. But if you guys want to see me and see me like actually do it and real-time recording of this, then you can go ahead and do that and let me know, and I'll get it done for you guys. But this is actually like pre-recorded. This is not me playing live or anything like that. But I got this one done, and this one took me a couple of tries. The thing about like this team is like, while the 7th anniversary LR characters are really solid, right? We're talking about the Super Saiyan 4s and the gods. Like, they're really good on first turn, and then when you transform, they're really good on their first turn, but like, they can definitely be caught out. That's the thing that is kind of scary. And the Fused Fighter Battle Hardened Formidable Foes quest that I did, that was one of the things that kind of stood out. Is like, yeah, these guys, when you do get them stacked up, they are quite good. And just a little bit of a forewarning, I suppose, is that my 7th anniversary LRs, they're only at 55%. So I feel like if these guys were at 100%, man, it would make such a significant difference, I feel. Not only just defensively, but, man, offensively, because it definitely feels like these guys kind of just hit like nothing. They're like brushing feathers against the boss sometimes, whereas like it definitely feels like with Vegito and Gogeta, they always seem to hit hard. Like, they're just super solid. So I really enjoy using those characters, but sometimes like the 7th anniversary LRs, while I understand their usefulness and they are good characters, I definitely prefer the 10th anniversary units over them, like, no doubt. Like, if I had to choose, I would definitely choose them. Of course, these guys do have major benefits, of course, with being like defensive beasts on their first turn of appearance, which makes a big difference, of course. But there is those off turns, right, where like hypothetically, let's say they appear turn 1 when they're good turn 1, and then when the 3rd turn comes around, they're in that awkward spot where they can't transform, but they don't have their turn 1 defense anymore. So at that point in time, it can get a little wonky. One thing that was definitely beneficial with this team is that there is so many tech characters being able to tank damage against this AGL boss. Like, that really makes a huge difference, where some characters don't have guard and you can get just really good defensive effects against them just because you have natural type advantage, which is nice. Obviously, natural type advantage isn't the end all be all. You can still get absolutely mollywopped even if you've got the full type advantage against the opponent. But definitely having it on top of having good defensive abilities, like for example, like the tech Vegeta, for example, right? Like, when you're in and starting off and you're in the base Goku form, like, his defensive abilities are actually pretty good, but he doesn't have guard, meaning that he can still get caught out, especially if you have to somewhat like use him in slot 1. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And he can definitely get caught out. But if you have natural type advantage, then you've just got a much higher chance at succeeding against him, right? Anyways, this Goku, by the way, we can talk about this enemy Goku and kind of break down what he is doing, because he's a little bit of a scary dude, all things considered, actually. He has 1.5 billion, with a B, 1.5 billion HP, so he is a tanky boy. He also will have the ability to perform 2 super attacks during a turn. His super attack can also raise his attack and defense. Luckily, the attack and defense buff occurs post damage, because sometimes if they buff their attack and defense and then they perform the damage, it can get a little bit wonky here. And you do see that I am using Goku and Frieza, who came out during the 10th anniversary, and I made a couple tweets about it, and I've talked about it, but I think you don't have to really be a rocket scientist to kind of figure out that I feel like Goku and Frieza are probably the worst of the new 10th anniversary units. However, I can understand why people do like them. They definitely have some benefits. Definitely during the Battle Hard and Formidable Foes quest, I also used Frieza in the full power category quest for that one. The thing about it is a lot of enemies during that quest can actually be stunned. And Frieza does have the capability to stun the opponent, so there are some key circumstances where Frieza can get a lucky stun, and you basically get 2 free turns, which is really dope, right? And the thing is Frieza, he can get caught out for sure. Like, if he gets super attacked and you're above that 77% HP threshold, Frieza will die. However, if you can tank a normal attack, fall below 77%, then he provides that massive damage reduction, which is very, very good. So you're going to be pretty good once he falls below the 77% threshold. And then, of course, you got the Goku side of things, which also can provide some good defensive capabilities. And obviously, he's got his active skill to heal you back. And then, like, Goku has all of his defensive mechanics when you're above the 77% threshold. They're just a little bit wonky, right? Like, there are some things that are redeemable about the Goku and Frieza, but more often than not, it's just when you compare them to the other characters that have come out during this celebration, like, I'd much rather use so many other characters over them, right? I will say, though, is that Goku and Frieza has, like, a really good leader skill, right? Being able to give Battle of Fate 220%, like, that's a big deal, right? 220% leaders are going to be the new norm moving forward, so being able to have any one of those 220% leaders is going to be a big deal, so shout out to Frieza for that. But, of course, it's all about Vegito, right? The fact that this is up against an AGL boss, we're going to get a lot of stuff going our favor here. We're going to have a lot of crits, which is going to be nice. And this Vegito is going to carry. So the whole point of this battle is to basically stall and get through it so that when we reach turn 5, we can just absolutely start blowing away the enemy. So of course we're going to be using double Vegito as our leader. No real surprise here, because having double Vegito is pretty busted. And of course being able to abuse the AGL Gogeta as well from the 10th anniversary. Stacking those two together is a great combination. And then of course we have the 7th anniversary LRs. Those guys are also quite nice to have. But of course when we get to that time period where obviously whenever we get the opportunity to transform with those 7th anniversary Extreme Z Awakened LRs, we're going to transform straight away because we want to try and maintain our defenses, of course. So whenever we get the opportunity to do it, we're going to transform. It's going to give us good defenses just to ensure that we are stalling as much as we can to get to that 5th turn. Because, you know, this guy's no slouch with that 1.5 billion HP. Like, this guy does not go down easy. So we want to just try and, like, you know, hold him off, tank as much as we can, and then when we get the Vegito and we get the Gogeta, that's when we go on offense. We pivot from defense to offense and go for the kill. Kind of interesting, you guys will be seeing it a little bit later on in this clip here. But, you know, we have the 2 Vegitos on the team. Of course, we've got the friend. We have my own Vegito. However, my Vegito has 1 dupe. The friend is rainbowed. And it's crazy, even though, I guess I'm going to spoil it a little bit at this point. But we get on a rotation, right, where Vegito is by himself, the friend one, which is rainbowed. And then the other rotation is going to be my Vegito with 1 dupe, and then Gogeta with 1 dupe. And the Vegito that is rainbowed by himself outperforms the 1 dupe Vegito with the Gogeta buff during that same turn, which I thought was kind of crazy. I thought that with the Gogeta buff, like, that probably would have at least made him somewhat equivalent, but, like, it wasn't even close. Like, the counters from the Rainbow one were just far superior. So again, I don't know the math. I'm not a Dokkan pro like many people out there. I play extremely casually, so you guys probably know a little bit more information about that. But I just found that a little bit surprising. I don't know. I could be wrong there, but I just found it really, really interesting to kind of note that. But another thing is, like, you know, at this point, it's like, you know, the 10th anniversary has come and gone. It's been one of the best gacha game celebrations that I've personally been a part of. Like, it's just absolutely crazy to see all the cool stuff that they kind of gave out to their players and the quality of characters that they debuted, the Extreme Z Awakens, not only just during the anniversary, but even prior to, even some of the units leading up to the anniversary, right? You had the Daima Goku and the Glorio, you had the LR Go tanks, man. Like, they were trying to bait people into pulling right before that 10th Annie, and they definitely got people for sure. I mean, hey, I even pulled for that Gotenks. I mean, they debuted the AGL Jiren with that Gotenks as well. So I mean, of course we're gonna try and pull for him. We got really lucky. Did I make a video for that one? For the Gotenks summons? I don't remember if I did or not, but either way, like, yeah, we got pretty lucky there to pull that Gotenks, and even if we didn't pull him, heck, we could have got Gotenks for free from the special 10th anniversary Dragonstone, right? So that's pretty wild that Dokkan Battle went ahead and did that. But these units are so much fun to use, man. Like this Gogeta, the Vegito, and then of course the new LR's Extreme Z Awaken with the Blue Boys and the Super Saiyan 4s is just so much fun. And you guys would have seen the video that I uploaded on the channel recently using the Grade 8 Power Team to clear one of the recent events. That was a ton of fun to use as well, man. Like that Super Saiyan 4 Goku that dropped during the 10th Annie, he is man, he is a very good unit, man. He's really, really good. And another thing as well is that we got another big event dropping soon, right? We got that, I don't even know the name of the event. It's that event where it's like 50 phases or whatever it's called. Like that looks kind of wild. I'm kind of excited for that one. I mean, they kind of teased it as being one of the most difficult events in Dokkan Battle history, but like, I mean, it's a 50 phase event. Like, how difficult can they actually make it? I don't see it being ultra difficult. I can definitely see how they could do it though. Like, they could just make the units hit extremely hard and have really high HP pools and good damage reduction, and yeah, it's going to be really hard to get through that. But especially with these 7th anniversary LRs, like you're seeing here, like with this Gogeta, not specifically talking about Gogeta's phase exactly, but you know, in the Super Saiyan 4s with Goku and Vegeta, and then the Blue Boys Goku and Vegeta. Like, the fact that you can just have them in their base form, continuously stack, and then eventually they'll just get to some crazy attack and defensive stats where you can just transform and they'll just end the battle. Like, they'll just hit so friggin' hard. I mean, the same thing goes for Vegito and Gogeta that dropped during the 10th anniversary. While they're in their normal forms, either Goku or Vegeta, they will continuously stack their attack or stack their defense, and they're going to be really, really hard-hitting units. And of course, you know, the fact that Vegito and Gogeta only last for like 2 rotations, that is a big downside, because obviously you just pivot back to the base forms, which kind of sucks. But hey, when they reach their full forms into Vegito and Gogeta, yeah, they're ending the battle as soon as possible, man. They're going to be really, really hard to stop. And I mean, it's like, what are they even going to do like moving forward? Like, these units are just so powerful. Like, specifically talking about, like, Vegito in particular just feels so far and above everything else in the game. I guess the way that they can kind of power creep it is like make the base form just as bad as possible, because if the base form is bad, it doesn't matter, you know, how good the end result is with Vegeta. If you can't get to that point, if you can't get to turn 5 to get Vegeta to show up, then the unit's just never gonna work, right? So I don't know, it's kind of interesting, an interesting phase that Dokkan Battle is in right now, so we'll have to wait and see exactly what they have planned. But you see that now we finally get to go on the offense. You know, we've reached turn 5, and this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier, where we now have the Vegito. This is the friend one, which is rainbowed, and of course we've got the full animations on. We're gonna show off with the Vegito, man. The animations are so clean, man. They're so good. So Vegito is going to go kind of hard here, and you just see, like, just the damage you get from these counters is just so wild. I mean, I would love to have this guy rainbowed, but I mean, I'm not going to spend all those Dragon Stones, let's be real. I'm going to be saving my stones, man. We got Saiyan Day coming up relatively soon. People already have some theories in regards to what that's going to be. I mean, a lot of people thought it was going to be Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta from Daima, and they kind of swiftly released that at the start of March, which is interesting. So I don't really know what they have planned for that. And then they've got Golden Week coming up in about a month or so, so that's going to be interesting. And then you got the Worldwide Download Celebration. And then, you know, after the Worldwide Download Celebration, it's pretty much like, it's going to be pretty mellow until, like, basically the 11th anniversary. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what they have planned. But so here we go with Vegito, right? So Vegito, of course, he doesn't really do much against super attacks. He can still tank it pretty well, of course. That's not really going to be that big of a deal. All right, so you can see, this is the rainbow one here. Boom, 23, almost a 24 million counter straight up, which is good. Like, this is without really any major buffs going on here. Like, that's kind of cracked that this guy can just reach like a 24 million just from that. I mean, I guess we do have Frieza's buff here as well. I guess I kind of overlooked that. I'm pretty sure Frieza does have a buff. Let me just pull up that real quick. I want to actually find exactly what he does. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. That we're not about that. All right, so Frieza, let's pull up his passive skill, because that is interesting. Let's see. Oh, it's only for 2 turns from his entry. It gives the reps of Universe 7 or Battle of Fate 77% attack and defense. So I guess he's not really giving that here. I'm pretty sure yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not activated during this time period here, so that's kind of interesting that he's still giving out that much damage. I mean, have a look at this, boom, counter, almost 40 million from a counter. Remember, this guy is a 1.5 billion, so being able to just, like, do, like, 2 counters and then already take off, like, shave off, like, almost 100 million from 2 counters, like, that's so insane, dude. This guy just tears through bosses, especially the crits as well, like, the fact that he's doing all of this damage whilst critting. And I think this is the more ideal way to use Vegito, but I always put Vegito in slot 1 after using his active skill, because, you know, I want to make sure that he launches his super attacks as fast as possible. When he launches his super attacks, it raises his attack and defense during that turn. So my thinking is that the attack and defense raise from his super attack will make the counters even stronger. That's my thinking. I'm pretty sure it works that way. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day, but hey, that's what I do anyway. And then Frieza, of course, doing Frieza stuff. Because of this rotation and the fact that we had Vegito basically attack drawing all the enemy's attacks, I didn't really feel like it was a good idea to really switch into Goku. I felt pretty comfortable just leaving it as Frieza, but either way, we move. The next rotation, though, is where we can get into the full Monty. We've got everything going on. We're going to have Vegeta. We're going to have Gogeta. We're going to have the Blue Boys. All of the animations are going to be playing in the next turn here, which is great. That's just so much fun, man. I actually have never really seen the full animation of the Blue Boys, because I only got them really recently, like relatively recently, within the most recent banners that dropped, right? And I got them link leveled a little bit. I think they're close to max at this point. And with this, I had all the animations turned on. I actually wanted to see what the active skill of Goku and Vegeta actually looked like. I actually hadn't seen it before, and man, I was pleased. I think they did a really good job with the raw animation of the Blue Boys with their active skill. Like, I actually think that the fusion animation from the Blue Boys 7th anniversary LR, I think their fusion animation is, like, legitimately one of the best in the game, to be honest. I think it looks incredible. It looks so good. I will say, though, is that I actually prefer the fusion animation of the tech Goku and Vegeta into Gogeta rather than the 10th anniversary one. It just looks a little clunky. I get that they did something a little bit different, but look, it is what it is. Of course, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the Gogeta active skill, which is going to give everyone a big increase of attack and defense during this turn. Let me pull it up real quick just to see the exact numbers, because I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I know it's a really sizable increase. And just the raw damage that this guy does too, man. I love the active skill animation of this Gogeta. It looks really good. But the fusion animation, if we're talking about, I think it looks a little bit better with the other guys, with the tech version. So the Soul Punisher active skill will do ultimate damage to the enemy. All allies get 54% attack and defense for 1 turn. And also attacks effective against all types, self-excluded, so that's neat. And then AGL key spheres become rainbow, so you just get a ton. And look at this animation, man. The fusion animation, and then this animation of the damage too with his Soul Punisher. It just looks so incredible, man. It looks so good. And then, like, pretty decent damage, like 57 million, and that's, of course, after the AGL Vegito animation. And then, of course, the Potara fusion into the GOAT, the #1 unit in the game, Tech Vegito, baby. I love it when they perform the Potara fusion, and, like, the aura, man, this Vegito has just, like, plus 10,000 aura, just when he fuses, and there's, like, everything blows up around him. Like, dude, it looks so sick. It's so good. And of course, we're going to use that active skill with the sword. You love to see it, man. But anyways, this turn pretty much just runs it. I'm pretty sure that we get very close to killing, and then we can just kill in the following turn with an active skill, which is really dope. So anyways, I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of this clip here as we take on this Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku. Of course, with the most recent units that have dropped, it hasn't really been that big of a threat at all. But hey, this is a ton of fun, and of course we got some missions done, which is always good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more it's a Dokkan Battle content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
time to unleash my most devastating attack! I'll finish you off with this!